Trump tamed the cost of Air Force One and Marine One? U.S. is set to spend $11 billion on presidential fleet within 2 decades despite the Donald's promise to cut spending. President Donald Trump has repeatedly vowed to cut the price of the Air Force One program, but the aircraft fleet's history shows that might be harder than he expected, according to a new report. The Pentagon is expected to put $2.8 billion more toward its Presidential Aircraft Recapitalization program by 2021. If that money goes through, the U.S. will have spent $11 billion on the aircraft fleet over 2 decades, not including the funds needed to maintain the current fleet, having already spent $8.8 billion since 2002. President Barack Obama was as critical of the funding as Trump has been, but his effort to cut costs came at a significant delay and with very little success. And a report from Bloomberg News shows that there have been several attempts at not only cutting costs, but also revamping the nearly 50-year-old fleet. Not much has been successful. A plane revitalization project, named the Presidential Aircraft Recapitalization Program, has been in the works for several years, but it has faced plenty of stoppage. The two 747-200s that serve Air Force One will hit the end of their 30-year life expectancy this year, after first taking flight in 1987. Many of the Marine One helicopters have been part of the fleet since as early as 1974. The helicopter squadron contains 23 aircraft, 11 of which have been operating since 1974. 8 more date back to 1989. Outside the helicopter fleet is the Presidential Airplane Fleet, which includes Air Force One, smaller Gulfstream jets and older 757s that fly the Vice President. 4 ultra-reinforced Doomsday 747s sit ready at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. In 2002, the Navy, which oversees marine aviation programs, started a formal project to develop a new Marine One. It came after then-President George W. Bush became frustrated at the lack of communication systems aboard Air Force One on September 11. The White House considered several options, including using other aircraft in the fleet as replacements, but ultimately decided to unveil a new helicopter by 2007. Dubbed the VH-71 by the Navy, the helicopters were projected to cost $180 million each, which turned out to be an extremely low estimate. The plan for the helicopter was for it to be an Oval Office in the sky, complete with video conferencing and heavy armor. The fleet number fluctuated from 23 to 36, before going down again. The initial budget for the program was set at $6.5 billion, then increased to $11.5 billion by January 2007. By the time Obama was sworn in 2009, the program had an estimated $13 billion cost.